Welcome back to Boston has entered the chat. Our guy, Nat Gordon of the Tessie Podcast, who is running on no sleep at all and still looks great. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Man, you're too kind. Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course. So let's start with Connelly Early. I mean, my God, we've been celebrating him early in this show here. What did you think of the historic debut from the kid?
I couldn't believe it. Like, you see a guy get called up, and, he's had a great season in AAA, 2.6 ERA in the minors this season, and, he gets called up. It's like the 15th option they've had as a starting pitcher this year. They've gone through it all. The depth has been tested, and it's a guy who isn't supposed to be up right now. And to see him go out there against the big league lineup with some big league talent and tie the record for strikeouts by a Red Sox pitcher in their major league debut, 19 whiffs, didn't let up a run, 5 innings. I was just hoping to get, some outs in the fourth, and we'll see what you can do from there with the bullpen. But he was in control the entire night. Just the ultimate respect from not just the fan base, but from his teammates, from his coaching staff. Everything they said after the game, just was so impressed with what I saw. And not to say it was super unexpected, but it was kind of unexpected.
Yeah, we can say, someone should go out regardless. I mean, you make your major league debut and you get a win.
Yep.
That's a win right there for Connelly Early, just 23 years old. You strike out 11, and you shut out major league lineup. Maybe the A's, but they got some good hitters in that. What jumped out to you the most when you were watching Early's debut, especially a guy, look, it was four-seam heavy, but he showed off that he has a repertoire to him, a cutter, a curveball to mix in, so that he has his secondary, his third, his fourth pitch in his bag. So maybe this isn't a kid that wins with velocity, but he can keep a major league hitter on their heels and guessing.
Yeah, it's funny to watch his debut so soon after Payton Tolle's, where it was just fastball, and he just blew away the Pirates. And now this kid, he throws a whole arsenal, and, his changeup might have been his best pitch. And it's just impressive. I think what impressed me the most was just pitching in tight spots. And that's something that people said about him coming in, is that this isn't a guy who's going to get phased. He had the bases loaded, 1 out. I believe it was the 4th inning. And back-to-back strikeouts to get out of that inning without even a run allowed. And, it was a spot where they were up 5 runs already. And yeah, he could have 1-run scores and you're okay. You're up 5-1, you're probably going to get the win. But no, I mean, back-to-back strikeouts, he was just in complete control the entire night, had a command of his entire arsenal, just everything working for him. And, considering he flies across the country the day before, all the hecticness that comes with making your major league debut in that spot, just can't say enough about what he did.
Bro, I know you're a sicko for this stuff, so I'm going to ask you to put your scouting hat on. I'm sure you love exercises like this because you talk about the young guns in this pitching staff now. Break down for me these 3, because to me it's these 3. Hunter Dobbins, Payton Tolle, Connelly Early now we see. I mean, you talked about how Early has a lot of stuff. It's not just a fastball. Break down each guy for me, how they're unique, because all 3 of them feel like the future in terms of the pitching staff, along with a Garrett Crochet, obviously, and Brian Bayo.
Yeah, it was so tough to see Dobbins go down when he did, because that guy, to me, is just the ultimate gamer for the right spot. It's great to have a dude who comes up and just already hates the Yankees. So that that sucked to see him go down the way he did. I mean, one of his best starts of the year was right after the New York media was coming after him for all that stuff with his dad and him saying he didn't like whatever, Dobbins doesn't like the Yankees, all that. And he pitched great, won them a game on Sunday Night Baseball, 2 wins on Sunday Night Baseball for him this year. But with the other guys, I mean, Tolle, right now his fastball was maybe the best pitch in all of minor league baseball. It comes up and it plays at the major league level. Obviously called up a little bit earlier than maybe you would have liked with a guy like him, but it was by necessity. He's still working on his secondaries. You saw it in the second start. The Diamondbacks leaned on the fastball. They sat on the fastball all game long. He had some trouble landing his changeup, curveball. He's got a cutter and a slider that he uses too, and those may be his second and third best pitches. So going to be on those pitches for Tolle to continue to have success at the big league level. But it is a raw talent. As soon as those secondaries kind of get cleaned up, and maybe it's next year, but that kid could be an absolute monster at the big league level. And then Early is just Yo, go ahead.
No, well, you told us you like Early's fastball, but you like all of his stuff. Go ahead with Early, and then I have a follow-up about Tolle for you.
Yeah, Early to me, it's the complete arsenal. And I think his changeup is probably his best pitch, but it's a completely different profile than Tolle, because Tolle, and Rob Refsnyder was talking about this after the game about Early, but you see so many of these kids come up and it's just they're throwing 100 at you and they're overpowering, and it's like we've never seen this many guys with crazy stuff before. But with Early, it's pitchability. He's got a good fastball. His velocity has increased the last couple of years, but because of that, he had to learn how to pitch without it, and that's how he developed a really good changeup, good curveball. He had a slider he threw last night. Like, he's got a full arsenal. He can command it all, and really that's what got him to the point of getting to the upper minors. And then when the velocity came, that's really when his career took off.
All right, so Tolle looked good in his debut, not so much in his last start. What are you expecting today from the kid?
It's interesting because he hasn't pitched on a major league 4 days rest all year, and this is his first professional season. So they are going to keep his pitch count down. I think he's going to, you're going to hope to get 3 or 4 from him, but to be honest, and to be a little bit more realistic, it could be 2 or 3. Like, they may pull him at 50 or 60 pitches. Like, they're going to be extremely careful, but I expect him to still, be effective. I know he hasn't pitched on this rest, but he's still got an elite fastball. It's a lineup that has trouble with left-handed pitchers, as you've seen the last couple of days. So I do expect Payton Tolle to come out and give the Sox a chance to win, and then probably are going to see Kyle Harrison come in after him, and that's another lefty who hopefully can get you those two to the 6th inning, to the 7th inning, and you go from there.
Kyle Harrison, that's a name that, what, is he a starter? What's up with Kyle Harrison? I feel like he's like, I never see the guy. So I know he traveled with the team. You assume he's going to pitch. Is this like out of a bullpen situation for him moving forward, or is he a guy that has a chance, you think, to start and get in this rotation as well, like the rest of these guys?
Yeah, moving forward, he is going to be a starting pitcher. This is a little bit strange right now, just because in preparation for starts, they had him kind of off schedule, throwing 3 innings so that he could potentially make a start on short rest, and that never ended up happening. And then he had the ankle injury, and so he threw Sunday for 1 inning, sort of to get tuned up for whatever role he's going to be in today. But moving forward, yeah, he is going to be a starting pitcher. It's a guy they're overhauling his arsenal right now, and it's a work in progress. So, what we see today won't be the final product that hopefully we see next year. But this is a kid who, a year ago was one of the top pitching prospects in the sport. And, I think the Red Sox still do have high hopes for him, but it is going to be a work in progress with him.
Okay.
And hey, we'll still see. Whatever the distance that we see Payton Tolle go tonight, Garrett Whitlock, Aroldis Chapman, long rest for them, what they've done for the bullpen. Even last night, with, Early just going 5 innings, they didn't have to empty out the entire arsenal. Yes, Weissert went in and got the job done, but still, again, a Zach Kelly with some rest in between as well.
Right.
So do you see that with Tolle? You say, 3, 4. You think they keep easing him into the role of being a starting pitcher and maybe not really trying to push him into being a 5, 6 inning pitched type of guy? But I guess in a way, Nat, is it saving the arm for when October rolls around to keep it fresh there, where I think he'll just end up being a bullpen guy, which is fine with someone at his age and lack of major league experience?
Yeah, at the minor league level, they were already talking before he got called up about winding him down, just because it is his first professional season. So it was a little bit surprising to see them push him into the 6th in his debut. It was a little bit surprising. He didn't end up going 85 to 90 pitches in his second start, but that was their target. Obviously, he was a little bit shaky. They got him out of there before that. But yeah, I do see them maybe preparing him for a bullpen role in October. This is a guy who in 1-2 inning spurts can be dominant at the big league level even now. So yeah, right now you need him to throw innings to get you to the finish line, but it could be down the stretch in a role sort of like you're seeing today, where you piggyback him with another guy, he goes 3 innings and really empties the tank in those 3 innings, and then by the postseason it's a couple innings and he comes in the 5th inning when a starter needs to come out. The possibilities really are endless, but they do have to be careful because, again, this is his first professional season. So they are going to be careful. To be honest, I'm surprised they haven't been a little bit more careful to this point, but you can tell that they're going to be careful with him on shorter rest today.
I mean, it's desperation at this point. You mentioned like the Hunter Dobbins injury. It's Richard Fitz going down.
Yep.
Tanner Houck and Cutter Crawford never able to break through in the rotation or even the bullpen with this team. In a way, it's desperation where they got to leave every stone unturned when it comes to the prospects. We saw Tolle step up. We just saw Early step up. Let's see how Kyle Harrison does. But nothing talking the athletics and talking like the minutia of the prospects. After this athletic series is done, it's Yankees, it's Tampa, it's Blue Jays, it's Detroit. There'll be the athletics sprinkled in there again. But we see that they're knotted at the top of the wild card standings. Red Sox now with 81 wins. What will it take for the Red Sox to bypass the Yankees, not just in the series, but when it comes to the playoff and wild card seedings?
Well, so much of it is going to come down to the series because Yankees have a couple of games before that, and they're against the Tigers, and the Red Sox have their game today. So if the Sox can win today, maybe the Yankees split the next two against the Tigers, you'll go into that series a half game up. You take 2 out of 3 in the series. Now you've got about 12 games left in the season. You're a game and a half up on the Yankees. And I know game and a half doesn't sound like a lot, but as the season winds down and you don't have much time left, it is a lot. And, the Yankee, you're going to need it because the Yankees, they've got like the Twins, they've got the White Sox, they've got a couple series with Baltimore, who I know has been playing better baseball, but yeah, they've got an easier schedule than you do. So you are going to have to take the series if you want to overtake the Yankees, in my opinion, and certainly are going to have to probably take every series moving forward if you want a shot at that division.
You guys are being so nice to the Yankees. I don't know if it's because it's early in the morning. My man just got off a flight. Like, what's wrong with you two? Did you not see? Oh, breaking news. Yep, the Tigers just scored on the Yankees again. Like, they gave up so many runs in one inning. I think it was the 7th inning to these guys. The Yankees are losers. Here's a question I have for you, Gordo. Is this series at this point, because it feels inevitable, like we're headed for Red Sox-Yankees in that wild card matchup. I almost look at the rest of the regular season. You tell me if I'm overstepping here, but I look at the rest of this regular season as who's going to have home field out of those two? Because it just feels like they're going to end up playing each other. And if the Red Sox can get that #1 wild card spot, then it's at Fenway. And that means Yankees, you lose. Not to say they can't go to the Bronx and win that series, but boy, do I feel better if it's at Fenway. Am I overreading this, Gordo?
No, you're not. You're not. Because if teams do anything remotely close to what they should do the rest of the way, that it's going to be those two teams in that series. I mean, the Jays would, like, again, 3 games, it doesn't sound like a lot, but with as little time as there is left, it's going to be tough for either the Sox or the Yankees to catch them. And it's the same thing. The Red Sox and the Yankees have a good amount of distance. I think it's 3.5 games right now between them and the Mariners. So, yeah, it really is going to be a fight for home field advantage in that series if that's how it goes. But to your point, that inning last night may have been maybe the worst inning of baseball I've ever seen. I turned the game on.
Yes.
The Tigers had the bases loaded, and it was tied. And 3 pitchers later, like a million walked-in runs hit by pitches. It was crazy. 9 runs in the inning. Unbelievable.
Hey, don't forget that one inning we saw from the Yankees defensively against the Dodgers in the World Series, where the whole thing fell apart on them, too.
That's right.
But that's what that team is at this point. Like, it's the regular season success. They have a deep lineup, a lot of power. Like, Jazz Chisholm, 20-plus home runs. You have to take advantage of when a guy like that is hitting in that fashion. And then they add in the vets that they have throughout this lineup. When it comes to the Yankees and the Red Sox, where do you see the Red Sox having the advantage in a matchup with the Yankees? 3 games in the Bronx like we'll have, or whether you flip it to where it could be a wild card series?
Well, with the Sox and the Yankees, look beyond the paper, because just in the season series this year, it's been dominance from the Red Sox. So what is it? 2 out of 3, a sweep, and 3 out of 4, if I'm not mistaken. Like, the Red Sox have just had their number all season long. Doesn't matter if they're throwing their best guys. Like this weekend, you'll miss Rodon and Schlittler, but you'll get Max Fried, you'll get Luis Heel, you'll get Will Warren, like guys they've seen. So it's hard. Like, with the Red Sox Yankees, like I keep talking about how important I think home field advantage is, but with this matchup, even on the road, I think I'm taking the Red Sox even without Roman Anthony, with everything working against them. How can you go against the Red Sox with how the season series has gone between these two teams?
Well, listen, I wasn't going to go here, but you brought up the Roman Empire, so now I have to go here. Okay, we're having this conversation, all 3 of us and the folks at home, about Yankees, Red Sox and the wild card matchup. If it's at Fenway, I don't know about y'all, I will be putting my money on the Red Sox. So now, are we talking about Roman Anthony coming back for that next series? Because that's what Alex Cora said. Alex Cora said, if we can advance to that point, we may get this kid back. Do you see Roman Anthony coming back in the postseason? And do you also, follow up, do you see that helping propel this team to a deep playoff run?
Well, if they can make it to the point where that kid gets back, that's the ultimate boost to a team. And, you know, some people have talked about, oh, well, he's not going to get a rehab assignment. I mean, have you seen this kid play? The kid just jumps off the charts, and it just feels like he's capable of anything. No moment phases him. That homer he had last series in Yankee Stadium was like a career maker, and he's 21 years old and a rookie. Like, it was unbelievable. But you are going to have to get to that point. That's going to mean getting through the wild card series. It might even mean making it through the division series. And it's not going to be easy, especially without him. But if you can get to that point where you get him back, I'm taking the Sox against anybody at that point. I mean, having the momentum of winning multiple series and getting Roman Anthony back, give me the Sox there.
The one concern for me when it comes to Roman is that with the oblique, he can't swing the bat.
Right.
But you would think a guy that is a rookie, is young, but with Alex Bregman and Trevor Story in that clubhouse with them, they're at least saying, get down in the cages and watch pitches. Keep your timing sharp, because that'll be the big thing for him. As long as his timing is back when he gets back into a lineup and he's healthy, if your inability to swing it back can affect one thing, you can make it up at least with his eyes still being ready and he's keeping those sharp as he's away from the game.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember last year talking to Tristan Casas when he couldn't swing either, and he would just sit in front of the tragic machine and just watch like Garrett Cole pitches and just watch them go by. I don't know if that's what Roman's doing, but yeah, hopefully a good amount of it, because he's going to have to come in ice cold whenever he does come back. And yeah, I have so much faith in the kid. The kid is an absolute baseball freak. So many guys I would think, oh, their timing's going to be off, they may not be effective, like literally any other player on the team. But with him, I have the ultimate confidence in his abilities. Zero concern for me.
Gordo, last walk-off for you here. George has already given me sort of a blueprint of what to expect, so I'm going to ask you the same question. This will be my first playoff experience at Fenway since I've been in town. What can I expect? Because I am looking forward to it, my man.
Oh, it's special, man.
It's
so special. It is. The last time the Red Sox were in the playoffs, I got to go to a few games, and one of them was that Red Sox-Yankee wild card game.
Oh.
And I'll tell you, I've been to 2 World Series games in my life, one in 13 and one in 18. And that wild card game against the Yankees was as loud as I have heard that ballpark. And I think part of the reason for it was because at that point, you know, with the pandemic and also, you know, the Red Sox hadn't been in the playoffs in a couple of years, people were starved for it. And people are starved for it right now. So if they get back there, they play games at Fenway Park, I expect it to be absolutely rocking. I've been thinking about it all year long. I cannot wait.
Yes. Oh, it's everything I dreamed of. Thank you, Nat. Well, you know we appreciate you, man. Nat Gordon of the Tessie Podcast. We'll see you next time as we get closer and closer to the postseason, my man. Thanks for getting up early with us.
Love you guys. Thanks for having me.